Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're joining me again. My name is Sasha Reed. Today I have got my design team project share to share with you. I have got these surprise creation dies and I've made up some fun bits. So I'm going to share with you what I've created and share with you what I've used to make them, and everything that I used today should hopefully be in the description box below the video if you want to have a look yourself. So let's get started. So for my first card, I thought I would use these ginormous eggs. I've made two cards. One is complete and the other one just needs a sentiment on the front, but I was toying with sort of what I wanted to put on the front of it. So we've got the sort of solid edge around here, and then we've got the stitched edge on these ones. They're the same. They're just stitched edge and plain edged. I've had a look on their site. You can either buy them individually or you can buy them together. If I were to shop for them, I personally would only get this one because I really like the stitched edge. I wouldn't bother buying the combo or buying both because I think this does the job. So I think you really only need one, but that's completely up to you. So they are huge. They are massive dies, as you can see. And the first card I made was this Easter card. So this card is enormous. It takes up my whole video screen. I will quickly measure it for you as the finished product. This is using the largest stitched edge, and that is just shy of 6 inches wide by or about 14.5 centimeters. And then in length it is just over 8 inches and just over 20.5 centimeters. So it's massive. And what I did was I used these straight edge dies to make my base. So you can see there's that bit there. So what I did is I folded an A3 sheet of cardstock in half, and then I put my die over it, leaving just that bit there underneath the die. So the die, if I take the stitch one to show you, ends up going basically, oops, going the wrong direction. How did I do it? Yeah, so it went like that. So you can see how it cuts. There's that bit there that I left. Made sure that this die was over, and then that die won't cut that edge, and that's how you can get a card. And then my front panel, I used the stitched shaped one, and I just cut a full size front panel and stuck it over top so it covers up that kind of edge there. So when you open it up, then there it is there. It doesn't look like you've missed part of the image, really. Kind of mucked up there a little bit with my over keen inking of the edge. So I cut a second stitch die and stick it on the center just to kind of highlight it a bit. But I love that cute front bit and how much that sparkles. So these jewels and sequins are all from Alina's shop, and the stamp set is also from Alina's shop. That's this stamp set here. That was her release for Easter last year. So I used the stamps from in there. And then I obviously have some gold cardstock, and I have this embossed pearlescent gold card. So that's my fun, huge Easter card. It's absolutely massive. Look, that's my hand. It's enormous. So that's my first one. Then this is the one I haven't completely finished yet because I just need a sentiment on it, but I filled it with loads of multicolored jewels. These are all jewels from Alina's shop again. I will try and link all those down below as well. And then I've done layered. So on this one, if you cut them two at a time, you get that kind of double edged look. So where you've got the stitching on both sides. And then I stuck this one on the inside of this shape, so it's on top of the acetate. And then this one I put on the outside, so it's sitting on top of this cardstock here. And so you can do loads of different things with it. And I just loved it. I had lots of fun layering it and playing with it, and then putting some shaker bits in it. So I love it. So those are my two Easter egg cards. I will add a sentiment on the other one, and then I'll be able to be finished with it. Then next I use this die here. And this is a shaker tag die, and it's really quite simple and sweet. I love simple and sweet. I find it overwhelming when you get a die set that's got like 15 to 20 dies in it. I'm like, oh, but this is lovely, and it layers beautifully and cuts beautifully. And so I made this little tag, and I've cut out loads of stuff to make more. But I've again used Alina's stamp in there for Happy Easter, and I've got the bow with a little diamond in the center, and it's good fun. And those are all jewels from Alina's shop again. I have a lot of Alina's stuff, and I really love using it. So I end up kind of using it in both design teams, which is probably very unhelpful, but never mind. So yeah, I've used some glitter card and literally just cut out both eggs, and then they just fit on top of each other. I cut out a layer of foam as well. So I took my foam, my fun foam, which is actually from Alina's shop as well, and I die cut out the shape out of the pink fun foam, and then just layered it underneath, so you've got this dimension without having to fill in all the gaps with the foam tape. So that worked out really well, and I'm really, really happy with that one. So next I have this set here. Now it cuts out like this, and I thought originally it was a really cute set that kind of came with its own little sentiment strip that you could pop on there or pop on above or below. And I thought it was really quite sweet. But then when I went and had a look on their website, they've actually used it to make a keychain. So I think I still will try that idea out, because I think that would be fun. But I've gone and made a keychain as well. So I'm really sorry, it's going to reflect quite badly, but I've done this keychain, and on the back it looks like that. And there's that bit there is a coordinating color, but it's in the glitter card rather than the foil. And I've got all this stuff off of AliExpress, so I'll put the links down below. I've got the keychain off AliExpress, and the foil card, and that is from AliExpress, and same with the gems. But what I did was I ran some foam tape around on the inside and stuck it down with some acetate behind. This inner circle measures 1.5 centimeters, 1.5 inches, I believe. And so I just took my 1.5 inch punch and punched out the middle. And then I lined up the image underneath with this image, because you could see the holes through the other side, and stuck it down. And then layered some acetate with the foam and some gems inside. So I really love how this turned out. I think my daughter's probably going to nick it and put it on her school bag. So I don't know how long it'll last, but it was a really cute keychain. And really quick and easy and fast to make. So there's that one there. Then last but not least, we have the pop-up card. So in my pop-up card, I've also used this die here, and some dies from my stash as well. So I've got this die here from my stash, which is linked with a large book die from AliExpress. And I've also got, I've used these dies here from Alina's shop from my stash. I've got the full large letters and full large alphabet numbers, and they're really handy. So I will share with you what I did first. I didn't realize it was a pop-up card. I really struggled with it. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to be doing, and the website had a picture that was similar to what I made on my card. So the first thing I did was I kind of created a background, sort of started assembling it, and then went, well, I don't know what I'm meant to do with it. I don't understand how it's exciting. It was one sort of dimension. I used that panel, but then the panel seemed pointless because I could just put foam tape underneath it. So I sent my friend Danielle Rose a message saying, oh, do you know what to do with this? Because she also designs for them. And then I found the designer by looking on their shop and worked out who designed it. And then I pinged her a message on Facebook, or on YouTube I should say, and said, can you please tell me how to use it? So she sent me a link to one of her videos where she showed her kind of trial run of making this card, and then it all made sense. So what I have made is this card here, and it goes like that, and it pops up. So it's going to be a bit difficult to show. I'm going to try and just kind of rotate it around so you can see everything, but it is a pop-up card. So it goes flat in the post, and then the recipient can open it up like that, and you can put your message on the back. So this is my card. It says, welcome to our street. I've got that little sunshine die, which is in my stash from AliExpress. I got those houses, which are actually a Stampin' Up! Stamp set. This is really difficult to get without the shadows. This sold sign I've just kind of stuck in a little bit with a little dot of glue down there. I've got my grass, and then I've got like a little car, which is also from AliExpress, just there, if you can see it. That is also from AliExpress. So this is my little creation. I'm really happy with it. I've got the fence panel there. I've got the grass on the inside of the fence and the outside of the fence. I've got the trees along the back. And basically what happens is you get your base bit of card, which is this one here. And it comes flat. So you assume it's meant to be flat. But actually what you need to do is fold it in half. So you're going to take your background base piece and you're going to end up just folding it over and creasing it, and that then creates this back bit here. Then in the set you also get these two here. So these two, you got this really long one here like that, and then you've got this shorter one which is the similar. So they're 8 inches long when you folded those creases and 4 inches long for those ones, and you need one of these and two of these. When you've got them, you're going to fold those ends back, or actually you could fold it in half first. This one's going to fold the other way. So we folded that one in on itself. This is going to be your outside edge, and so you're going to fold it that direction. Then what you're going to do is fold these two ends in, and you're going to adhere one to that edge there, and the other one to the other edge there. And that's what gives you that pop-out element, if that makes sense. So I'm going to quickly glue those down just so I can show you how to attach the inner ones. Now I've just used some sticky double-sided tape on mine. I found that worked just fine. Now I'll try and zoom in for you and just try and let you see what I'm doing here. So I'm just going to peel the back off on this one and just do one at a time. Then I'm going to line it up with the base of this card and right up against the edge. Okay, so it's like that. Then I'm going to go to the other side and I'm going to do the same thing. So you're going to fold that back, and then you're going to line it up with this edge here, like so, and press it down, and then you've got your base. Okay, now when you come to put your inside panels in here, depending on how far you want them from each place is where you're going to position it on. I found this side the easiest. Okay, so again, you're going to take your strip, move that aside for a second, you're going to fold the edge back, fold the other edge back, okay, and then you're going to get your adhesive on there. Pull your adhesive off. I found it easier to pull it off both ends first, because otherwise it's really tricky to get your hand in there. So now I've got both of mine with the adhesive exposed. Then what you want to do is work out how far you want that to go from that side. And when you kind of have an idea, just slightly bend it so it's not going to touch on that side. Stick it down on your outer edge so it's stuck there, not the other end yet. What I found you need to do is bend that, close your card, or open your card all the way. So you're going to stick it all the way down flat, and then what I do is I line up that bottom edge along there. I've still got my finger there so it's not sticking down, and then I just squish it down. So I squish it down with the card open. Okay, so I've squished it down like that and stuck that side down with it open. That way, when you open it up, it's perfectly lined up. Otherwise, I find it really difficult to line up that edge so that it will fold flat. So if you make sure it folds flat when you're assembling it, you know it will fold flat, and it will always end up level that way. And then you just repeat the step with your next one. So you can have two. You could have as many as you want, really. It's just how bulky your card's going to be. I found I did 2 because that's what the example online showed, and it worked really well. So you would cut another one of those and do the same thing. Stick it here first, hold your card flat and then push it down on that side so that you know exactly how far along that side it needs to go so that it can stand up and pop open and also fold flat in your post. Now, to do this trick of the clouds, they've got the wavy die in the set, and all I did was I just took it, cut it out once, and then laid it on my card, and then I've got some of these brushes like this, which I've picked up from AliExpress, and then I just took my ink and then kind of rubbed it on, and then I shifted it down, shifted it over so it was a bit more unique, and then I did it again, and then I just took my card, moved it and lined it up and did that side. And that's kind of how I did this sort of cloud variation background with this wavy one. You can also use this as a border along the front, that kind of thing. And then with my trees on here and my grass, I just did the same thing. I took my brush and just kind of did the edges in a darker green to give it a bit more character and dimension. I dusted the edge of the sold sign and stuck it down. This is a Stampin' Up! Stamp set that I had that I really liked in my stash. And then, yeah, I've just drawn a road. It's really difficult to see my road, but I've drawn a little road in there. And I just used a white gel pen to make those little lines on the road and put a little car on there. And a car's from AliExpress as well. So I just thought it was a really cool, fun idea. And much better than what I thought it was of just being like a flat card. So this is really cool. So using the same dies, but not all the extra stuff. Oh, this is going to a new neighbor, by the way. Our friends are leaving us that have lived next to us for the past few years, and we have new neighbors coming, and I wanted a new card to give them when they move in. So that's going to my next door neighbors when we get them. Then it's also my sister-in-law's 40th birthday. So I made her this card, which then obviously pops up like that. I didn't use any of the other dies other than the actual dies. Because this is 8 inches wide, I can't remember the width of it, I then just cut a piece of paper that was just about like an 1/8 of an inch, I think, shorter on all edges. And then I used my silver pen because I didn't want too many layers and having it folding and trying to fold it with so many layers. I gave the illusion that I put a layer of silver behind it by just using my ruler and my silver paint pen. So I've got one of these, and I wish I had gold because I think gold would have been better. But I just took that, I took my ruler and I just kind of lined it up on the edge and then just colored, and then it kind of gives you that illusion that you've got a silver edge, but you haven't actually stuck any cardstock behind it. So that's what I did there. And then the balloons are all done with a hole punch from Stampin' Up! So I just punched them out, and then I used my brush again and kind of added some detailing to them to make them look a bit more dimensional, and then added the little white lines with my gel pen. The gel pen I used is this one here. It's called a Jelly Roll. And I've tried a few different ones. This one I've had for about 2 years, and it still works, and it still works just as nice. So this is a really good one to have. I'm not sure if they sell it on AliExpress or not. But yeah, and then this die here is one from my stash I shared with you at the beginning, and those are the numbers from Alina's shop. And so I had a lot of fun making this one. I've also got some jewels there in the background floating around. And then I've just stuck the strings down with a bit of a glue dot behind. So this is my sister-in-law's 40th birthday card, which I will be sending to her right away because her birthday was 2 days ago. A little bit slow on the card making, but there we go. I thought that was really fun and really cool. So thank you so much for joining me today. Stay tuned because I have got some of my cards coming up where I made some cards with those giant book dies. So I'll see you all again soon. Thank you so much for joining me. Please do subscribe. Bye!